Hey guys, I'm back! What's all this for?
Oh, hey Dave. I installed a TV. Figure if I'm gonna be stuck here, might as well find a way to enjoy my time.
Yeah, right. Anyway, for the sake of time, I need to speak to DUL.
Oh, I think he's out for the day if I'm not mistaken.
Alright, boys. That's it. I'm going all in. I've got this. But that's not how... What would he even do? Aren't you guys like mental constructs in my head?
I wouldn't think about it too hard. Besides, didn't you literally just bring in snacks?
Fair point. Anyway, what are you gonna do with the TV? It's not like you guys have any movies to watch.
That is unfortunately true, but we do have this legendary, definitely real personal computer that we have all used and actively stream on.
Alright, so what are you gonna do with it?
Well, it's quite simple, David. We're going to watch all of Sword Art Online.
Alright, I mean, how bad could it really be? Because from what I recall, it was a guilty pleasure of mine back in the day. How is it so much worse than I remembered? Alright, so from what I recall, the first arc was pretty okay. Honestly, my only problem back in the day was the pacing. Though having gone back to watch it, the pacing actually felt really good. Like, it was refreshing to not have the full story, but rather specific events that occurred during the time of Sword Art Online, like while it was active. Honestly, if you know the floor number, almost every episode could really be watched in whatever way you want. Though it is best if you watch in order, to be entirely honest. Though my biggest problem with this arc is that it breaks just so many rules of storytelling just on a whim, it seems. Like, the huge secondary antagonist, Laughing Coffin, is like this big, evil, like, player-killing guild. They get set up, and it's like, okay, so obviously, like, the next few episodes are going to focus on Laughing Coffin, and then they are almost never brought up again till nearly the end of the arc, and that guy is, like, quickly dispatched. But the problem is, under any other circumstance, I really wouldn't bring this up, as it wouldn't really be a huge problem. However, given that the story relies so heavily going forward after this arc on what happens to Laughing Coffin, and we never get to see it, it feels really weird.
What? SAO has horrible writing? Oh no! Whoever could have predicted this?
And just, oh my god, it just keeps somehow going further downhill from there. Like, I hate to say it, but I completely agree with people who say this arc completely loses steam after Yui shows up. Luckily, the arc ends like 2 episodes later, but oh my god, just, it breaks all of the tension in this arc, because Kirito, up to this point, is set up as a guy who, yes, he knows a lot about the nerve gear, but it's nothing you probably wouldn't learn from, like, either beta testing it or marketing. Like, you don't expect him to get access to a developer console and then be able to crack open the game like it's no one's business. But that happens! Does he take that moment to log out, all the people who can't log out? To, kill Kayaba? No! Doesn't take that opportunity to do that. Does something completely stupid. And then from there, it's just okay. He's just that overpowered now. that is just the show now. But yeah, also, the ending makes no sense in of itself. Like, he straight up just breaks the system. Not having admin privileges, not having turned off the fact that if he dies, his nerve gear is gonna go Galaga on his brain matter. No, he just breaks it with the power of love and friendship. I'm not joking. Thankfully, though, the arc does have some strengths. Like, when the characters have downtime, this series works surprisingly well. Like, the slice of life stuff that is here is probably the best part of the show. And I am looking forward to more of the slice of life stuff as we go on, because that is something Reka Kawahara absolutely nails, is just the feeling of downtime and these characters actually feel like they want to interact with each other. Oh yeah, something that's completely slipped my mind up to this point. This arc also does horror, like, super well. Honestly, out of the entire arc, probably the best episode in all is episode 3, because it does the, like, downtime super well, and then it builds to, like, this crescendo of horror, and just everything falls apart. Like, I genuinely forgot how well this series did horror until I did my rewatch of it. I was genuinely taken aback by it. Though, unfortunately, I still have to bring everything back to the fact that the ending doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm sorry, it drops the ball, especially at the ending. Like, oh my god, it's just... So... Kayaba, why did you do all of this? Like, it makes no sense.
How the fuck should I know?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need you to run that back real quick. What?
Later, loser. See you next arc. Peace!
Right, so now I'm gonna kind of rush this next arc because, well, it's bad. It's, like, really bad. Like, I had to stop watching for upwards of a week. It was that bad. Okay, so, this arc. Where do I even begin? Whew. Well, how about this? It's way worse than what I remember. Like, I remember that the assault happened. I don't remember it being this bad or this graphic. Like, it happens a lot. Like, way more than you would think in this arc. And it's just really, really bad. So, in light of that, and because it makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm going to dance around that as much as I possibly can. Because there are other stuff that make this arc bad. Like, so much worse. But, if you need to know my thoughts on that part of the arc, it basically was kind of like this.
Oh, come on, stop squirming. You've seen way worse. Heck, your favorite show is Hellsing. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, that's... Oh, God.
Yeah. Also, the Lifa and Kirito subplot made me want to rip my brains out. Because, bad show. Bad. Now go to the corner and think about what you've done. Honestly, though, aside from that, I think my only other massive issue is how the arc just misuses Asuna. Like, seriously, in the last arc, she is this floor-clearing badass, and here she's just reduced to the damsel in distress role. Like, come on, the only redeeming quality about this arc, honestly, is the action. And it's really good. If I had to recommend this arc for any reason, it's that the action is pretty cool. Does it excuse all of the bad stuff you have to wade through to get there? Absolutely not. And I'm not going to ruin why the action's good, but I will say... They fly now? They fly now! But if you're looking for, like, the best recommendation of that arc, it is by far the last episode of the arc. And I mean that in an unironic way. It's not just because the credits roll and you're finally done with it. It's that the ending is about as good as this first show could have reasonably hoped for. I mean, for God's sakes, the battle with the main bad guy is in a hospital parking lot. Like, you can even tell Reki was done with this. Like, this is just a dirty brawl in a parking lot with a knife. I kind of respect it, if I'm being entirely honest. Even Kirito, like, shows that he's fed up with this arc and he just wants to get out of here. Though, given how the fight before went, I could reasonably see why the character would want to get this over as soon as possible. System ID. Akihiko Kayaba! Kayaba? Akihiko Kayaba!
You activated my trap card, Sugo. Behold, the World Seed.
Kayaba! So yeah. Fairy Dance is really, really, really bad. Straight up, this whole thing took me like a week to get through. And Aster and I, at the end of it, were still sitting there like...
How? Why? How was it that bad?
Beats me. This whole thing was just... Oh god, it was so bad.
Okay, hold up a second. This took us a canonical week to finish.
Yeah. And there's still so much more to go. I genuinely do recall it gets better after this, though.
Honestly, that's not what I'm worried about. D-Well has had the body for at least a full week now, in the worst case.
Oh. Oh no. I swear, if I wake up in an alleyway with blue hair, I'm gonna...
Honestly, the hair is probably the least of your concerns.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Besides, what's the worst thing you could possibly do?